Hi, I'm Ethan Cox. I'm a certified sexual health coach and ED specialist. And over the last 3 years, I've worked with a talented team of urologists, cardiologists, and brilliant scientific researchers who've seen and treated all aspects of male sexual health, including organic erectile dysfunction, ejaculatory disorders, and even penis-related injuries. After intensive work day and night, we're ready to bite the hand of big ED companies, who, by the way, only sell despicable lies and reveal the hard truth. When it comes to erectile dysfunction, 99% of the experts are flat out wrong. But there is hope. In May 2023, using innovative methods, we made a revolutionary breakthrough. It was published in the scientific journal Cell Death Discovery and identifies the real cause behind ED. A weird blockage happening right in the cells that line the blood vessels of your penis, named the endothelium flow disruptor. Our discovery led to an award-winning approach to treating impotence and erectile dysfunction while lowering the risks of metabolic syndrome, insulin resistance, and cardiovascular disease. Think of it as a kind of stem cell therapy, but 100% natural, at a fraction of the cost, biocompatible, and super effective. On a trial done on 352 men with ED problems, ranging from the most severe cases, men who haven't had an erection in years, to the most trivial cases, like premature ejaculation, we found out that 1. ED is not related to age, physical activity, or diet, and 2. All men with ED problems share a common weakness that has not been diagnosed and treated correctly until now. This blood flow weakness affects several areas of the body, including the heart. The microscopic analysis of endothelial cells has provided numerous insights into their receptors, communication pathways, nitric oxide capacity, and allowed us to create a method that reignites the spark of vitality, boosts your virility, and skyrockets your confidence in the bedroom, just like it did for me and for all 352 male testers in less than 14 days. And however complicated this method may seem, it's natural, easy to use, and cheaper than your daily coffee. It can be done from home and starts working almost immediately. It's the only tested method that allows you to say goodbye to the harmful side effects and temporary fixes of traditional ED treatments, and say hello to bigger, fuller, harder, and longer-lasting erections than you've had in years. This life-changing solution has passed multiple trials before reaching you today in its final form, and holds a 100% efficiency rate with all test subjects. Watch this video until the end, and in just 4 minutes, I'll show you how to replicate the results from the comfort of your home. World-renowned institutions like NYU Medical Center and Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore confirm that anyone suffering from ED should seek help immediately. But don't worry, once I tell you about the endothelium flow disruptor, you'll have everything you need to completely rid yourself of its influence on your penis. Only the elite have had access to the most skilled doctors in the world who have tested this method and seen amazing results. And that's why I made this video, because every man deserves to know it's not his fault. I've personally wrestled with the frustration and humiliation of ED, and without changing anything about my lifestyle or taking dangerous drugs, in just a few short weeks, I went from being a sad, limp man whose wife was on the verge of cheating on me to someone with the power, potency, and hardness I had when I was 20 years old. This discovery revived my marriage and allowed me to satisfy my wife multiple times, night after night. And it's not just about me. Here's what Jack S., 57, from Tennessee says.
Thank God I came across your video. It really opened my eyes to so many things, especially the blatant lies that the medical establishment and pharmaceutical companies feed us. I can finally say that I'm actually back to my old self. I feel confident, proud, and relieved. You know, it's like a weight has been lifted from my shoulders.
Or Adrian F., 63, from Alabama.
I've been using your method for a couple of weeks now, and I still can't believe how well it works. I feel like I'm in my prime again. Thanks, man.
In this video, I'll show you how to replicate their immediate results. I'll teach you what you need to do to put an end to the ED problem forever. Starting today, you don't have to worry anymore about getting it up when she's ready to go. No more going soft before you even get to the best part. And no more awkwardness of needing to take a little blue pill just to please her, risking hearing loss, dizziness, headaches, or blindness. Now, before we start, please be aware that this information is controversial. It is 100% accurate, but controversial because it challenges the pharmaceutical companies, whose dangerous products are worth billions of dollars to their bottom line. They tried to throw a load of money at us to keep quiet because they know our discovery really works. So if you're suffering from ED, you'll never watch a more important video in your life. There's nothing that crushes your self-esteem more than flaccid erections. I've been there, and I feel for you. But what gets me really pumped is that very soon, you'll figure out what's been causing your ED, and you'll learn a simple way to fix it without gambling with your life or draining your wallet. Hey there, my name is Ethan Cox. I'm 53 years young, and I'm a medical researcher. I've always been passionate about innovation. So back in 2009, I set up a top-notch lab. We had some of the best doctors there, making discoveries that seriously made people's lives better. But nothing, I mean nothing, can hold a candle to what I'm about to share with you. Now, I'm not gonna lie, what I've been through, it's pretty personal and downright humiliating. But that experience changed my life forever, and I'm sure it will change yours too. I've been married to my gorgeous wife Jennifer for 25 years now, and up until about 3 years ago, our sex life was wonderful. We went from doing it 4 to 5 times a week to just once or twice a week, to where a month went by without any real intimacy. In the beginning, I thought it must have been the stress from work. My erections started to fizzle out right when the action was starting to get good. And that was a gut-wrenching and embarrassing blow. Jennifer usually helped me out so I could get back in the saddle, and for some time it worked, but my once trusted ally was now betraying me in the heat of battle. No matter how sexy the lingerie Jennifer had on, or how sensual she'd talk, or even how good her technique to get me aroused was, my penis would just sit there shriveled up like a frightened turtle in its shell, with no intention of coming out. And each time this happened, I grew more and more frustrated and embarrassed. Lying in bed next to my wife and unable to satisfy her the way she deserved made me question my own self-worth. And to be honest, for my wife, it was more than that. It was not a need she could ignore for months. It was her day-to-day way to relieve stress. For some, it's a glass of wine. For others, it's watching TV or talking on the phone. But for her, it was sex. It was her main way of staying relaxed. And for that reason, we had a lot of it, and I was good at it. That's how our marriage worked. And now, as much as she loved me, and I knew she did, every night that went by that I couldn't satisfy that need, I could see her mind racing, not knowing what to do with herself. We started arguing more and more frequently, and she became very sensitive and irritable. It made me realize just how much this issue affects men all over the world. The scientific studies concluded that a lack of sexual activity leads to sexual dysfunction. The longer the time, the more likely it is that you'll have sexual problems. So I rolled up my sleeves and started looking for solutions. The first was to find a urologist. Being part of the medical community, I didn't want one who knew me personally because I wouldn't have felt comfortable announcing to everyone that I couldn't satisfy my wife anymore. So I went to one in a different part of the city. During our consultation, I was hoping for some understanding from him, but he seemed completely disinterested when I explained how ED was negatively impacting my life. Without even bothering to look up, he swiftly grabbed his prescription pad, and within minutes, I was out of his office. The conversation lasted a mere 2 minutes before I hurried off to pick up my prescription. The following months became a blur of doctor appointments and various prescriptions for ED pills, which required them taking an hour before any sexual activity. So the spontaneous and enjoyable sex life we once had was now a thing of the past. Paying enormous amounts each month just to achieve a functional erection felt like a foolish endeavor. And while the ED pills seemed to work initially, the accompanying side effects were unpleasant. The very first night I took the little blue pill, aside from an uncomfortable flush and blurry vision, the experience felt robotic. There was no excitement or passion, just a mechanical process like fixing a broken machine. After a few weeks, the effectiveness of the pills started to diminish. And guess what? My erections started to disappear completely, leaving me feeling inadequate again. Then I came across some articles suggesting that testosterone supplements might offer a solution. So I used my medical background to search for some proven supplements. And I bought horny goat weed, red ginseng, and epimedium. I also started taking vitamin D, vitamin B3, and folic acid. Initially, this mix seemed to provide a slight improvement in my erections, but after a few weeks, my body no longer responded to them. And that was the moment I decided to visit another doctor who said I should just increase the dosage of ED pills, to which I said, no thanks. After reading terrifying stories of men experiencing heat strokes and heart attacks as a result of these treatments, I gave up. In the end, at the recommendation of my neighbor, who's a personal trainer, I started running and exercising regularly. I hoped this would improve my blood flow and erectile performance, and I also wanted to look better for Jennifer, at least to compensate in some way for the lack of sexual activity. However, after 6 weeks of intense workouts, I found myself feeling exhausted and experiencing knee pain. Despite my efforts, there was no noticeable improvement in the firmness of my erections, and I was tired all the time. It seemed that my ability to achieve a stiff erection was lost forever, marking the end of my sexual life. I was disappointed, anxious, and ashamed. And while Jennifer was understanding and supportive in the beginning, as time went by, she began to feel frustrated at my inability to perform my duty as a man and husband. She was sick and tired of putting on sexy lingerie, setting the mood, doing all the naughty stuff she knows I love, only to see my penis limp and lifeless. Lying in bed at night after not satisfying your partner and listening to their anger is one of the most horrible things a man can endure. So we stopped all forms of intimacy, and our bedroom became a cold, dead, passionless wasteland. For the first time in 25 years, I started to dread that I might lose my wife. I kept thinking, why would a woman stay with a guy that can't satisfy her? What's stopping her from going out there and getting some young buck that can make her moan with ecstasy? Sure, we had a long marriage and 2 beautiful kids, but as you know, all women need sex. Our marriage was a powder keg waiting to explode, and it almost did. That month, we had just signed on a big client at our lab, so we threw a party, and of course, she accompanied me. Little did I know, that night would mark the beginning of a life-changing journey that would forever shake the ED industry to its core. The party was fun. We ate, drank, and even danced a little, and for the first time in a long time, I thought we were back on track. That all changed when I came back from the bathroom to see my wife dancing a bit too sensually with Joey, a 30-year-old delivery driver that was circling us all night, like a vulture surrounding the dead carcass that was our love life. I remember Jennifer mentioning he was always paying her compliments and being very attentive to her, but I shrugged it off. Yet, seeing him rubbing up and down on her, squeezing her in his arms and his face nestled on her neck, my frustration with feeling less than a man and the dread of Jennifer leaving me took hold of me. The image of Joey and Jennifer's dancing melted into images of them in bed and of her moaning passionately. The scene made my blood boil, and I could barely contain the rage I felt in that moment. "What the hell do you think you're doing?" I asked Joey, and it took everything I had not to deck him right then and there. "Nothing, we were just dancing," he replied, a bit startled. "That's not the way you dance with another man's wife," I told him through gritted teeth as I grabbed his arm and pulled him off my wife. "You call yourself a man? You can't even get it up," Jennifer angrily shouted at me. There was a brief period of silence. Then everyone started to laugh and whisper. I didn't expect this. Never in my life had I felt more humiliated. I wished the floor would swallow me up. As soon as the words escaped her lips, I could see a hint of shock and guilt in her eyes, but it was already too late. I withdrew to a corner, feeling humiliated, embarrassed, and alone. I wanted to leave immediately, but I sensed that doing so would only make me appear even more pathetic. And lucky for me, I didn't leave because right at that moment, fate was on my side. And while I was consumed with anger toward her for uttering those hurtful words to my face, an elderly but well-groomed man approached me and said, "I believe I can help you." "What?" I asked skeptically. He handed me his business card. His name was Andreas Papa, a Greek urologist who had accompanied one of our chemists to the party. I took the business card, I thanked him and apologized because I wasn't feeling capable of having a conversation. I was too ashamed and angry. All that was running through my mind was, how could she do this to me? Can I actually call myself a man if I can't ravage my wife with passionate sex? Should we file for divorce? That night I slept on the couch, and even though Jennifer apologized for her outburst in the morning, we barely exchanged any words. 3 days later, as my mind cleared, I was left with 3 choices. The first option was to do nothing, allowing my wife to be with someone else, hoping for a peaceful divorce. But deep down, I knew that starting new relationships afterwards would feel pointless. The second choice was to complain and seek sympathy from anyone who would listen, blaming ED for ruining my life. But I knew that simply venting wouldn't magically solve my erectile problems. So, I chose the third option, to fight. I made up my mind that I wouldn't give up until I regained the ability to have steel-hard erections, and I started by calling the Greek urologist, Andreas Papa, who had given me his business card at the party. We met for lunch the very next day, and after ordering our steaks, he told me that he had studied medicine in the UK at Imperial College London Faculty of Medicine, a renowned institution for cutting-edge medical and scientific research. He then moved to his birthplace, Greece, often referred to as the land of Zeus. Currently, he is the head of the urology department at Athens Medical Center, and over the past 20 years, he's dealt with various aspects of sexual health, including organic erectile dysfunction, ejaculation and orgasmic disorders, low male libido, infertility, and even penile injuries. When I shared my problems with him, including all the pills and supplements I'd taken, He revealed that he too had been obsessed with finding the real cause of erectile dysfunction, ED, why ED pills don't work in the long term, and why 90% of men with ED end up having heart problems as well. Then, with a sense of sadness, he confessed that he had never been satisfied with the results he achieved with his patients in the long run. But his visit to the University of California in San Francisco changed everything. He was invited as part of a team of elite physicians dedicated to finding an effective treatment for male impotence and erectile dysfunction. He had the opportunity to work with leading pioneers in the field of sexual medicine and researchers at the Center for Sexual Medicine, the oldest clinic of its kind in the world. During their research, they discovered something that debunked all the myths surrounding ED. They realized that the methods used so far to combat ED didn't target the root cause. For example, ED pills after a while lead men to increase their dosage. And other methods, such as teas, gels, and weaker treatments, had little to no significant effect. When I asked why they hadn't focused on solving the root cause of ED until now, I was shocked by the answer. They didn't have the necessary methods and technology to do so. The cause of impotence could not be detected through standard clinical examinations and tests. In fact, it kept changing through the years. But for the first time in history, they subjected 352 men with varying degrees of ED to an award-winning technique of isolating male endothelial cells found in the blood vessels of the penis. These cells were then replicated in cultures and analyzed using the state-of-the-art specular microscope CellCheck XL, which is a global leader in clinical research for endothelial analysis. Through this process, they discovered that chronic inflammation injures the endothelium, the slim layer of cells that lines your blood vessels. Its job is to keep your vessels relaxed and wide open for blood to flow in. This discovery got the name endothelium flow disruptor and represents the real cause of ED, high blood pressure, heart disease, and even an enlarged prostate, or memory issues due to poor blood circulation in the brain. Now, some doctors have successfully injected stem cells into the penis to treat ED caused by a damaged endothelium. This helps speed up the recovery of damaged blood vessels to promote vascular regeneration and improve blood flow. But the real reason why these painful and costly stem cell injections work is because they reduce inflammation, which is so critical to maintaining the vascular health of your penis, heart, and brain. So their next challenge was to target the disruption caused by chronic inflammation and restore the vascular vitality of the endothelium. You see, the endothelium keeps blood vessels relaxed and flexible by producing nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a neurotransmitter in nerve cells that controls erection. Without nitric oxide, there is no erection. But swallowing nitric oxide pills won't solve the problem because the endothelial cells need to produce this gas naturally for a long-term effect. So the existing nitric oxide therapies and ED pills failed to fix the foundation of the issue. Treating the inflammation is essential to regenerating the blood vessels of your penis, the endothelium, and producing nitric oxide. It's the key to having strong, thick, long-lasting erections practically on demand. So then I asked the doctor how one could detect chronic inflammation in the body. He mentioned that skin issues like acne, rosacea, eczema, psoriasis, and even dandruff were clear signs of chronic inflammation. Fatigue and lethargy were also caused by chronic inflammation. Prostate enlargement issues were also associated with chronic inflammation, but he assured me that it was possible to fix this issue now. The research on endothelial flow disruptors had provided significant insights, leading to a new solution experts named vascular vitality. This method has successfully restored the power of their erections, breathed new life into their blood cells, and skyrocketed the potency of all 352 participants in less than 14 days, leaving me teary-eyed with hope. Of course, I was curious about what I needed to do. Doctor explained that repairing the damaged endothelial cells and treating inflammation required a special approach. It involved strictly following these 3 stages of healing. 1. Reducing chronic inflammation. 2. Calming the endothelium. 3. Restoring its natural ability to produce nitric oxide, essential for strong, thick, long-lasting erections. He also provided me with exact instructions for navigating these 3 stages. It was a unique formula consisting of a mixture of high-quality plants, roots, minerals, and vitamins. These ingredients act like shuttles, swiftly delivering nutrients to cells, eliminating inflammation from the body, and enabling the endothelium to function at its maximum capacity. One of the primary ones is chrysin. With 40,000 studies, including 1,000 clinical trials, chrysin emerges as the best and most potent antioxidant with powerful anti-inflammatory properties, eliminating inflammation from the body while massively increasing blood flow to the penis by empowering the endothelium to work at its maximum capacity. You will quickly experience a surge of energy throughout your entire body. This remarkable effect is achieved thanks to the unique combination of chrysin, magnesium, zinc, and a special type of hawthorn berry. Hawthorn berry helps increase coronary artery blood flow, improving circulation and lowering blood pressure. Magnesium signals the endothelium to relax, open up, and produce more nitric oxide, and zinc increases the production of hormones like testosterone. Now, let me introduce you to a nutrient so powerful that your penile tissue will regenerate and even grow once it's absorbed into your system. This nutrient is Tongkat Ali, a sacred medicinal herb that looks like a coiled serpent ready to strike. Tongkat Ali boosts blood flow, testosterone, libido, and muscle growth. It protects endothelial cells from oxidative stress and enhances their function, making it more potent than Viagra and Cialis combined. Scientific studies support its effectiveness, and it has no side effects since it is completely natural and sourced from maximum potency. Epimedium is another powerful ingredient in the formula known for restoring libido and increasing fertility. There are over 50 species, each with unique characteristics and strengths. So the doctor has chosen the one that enhances the production of nitric oxide the most, while also inhibiting the activity of the dreaded PDE5 enzyme, leading to more pleasure and satisfaction during intimate moments. Saw palmetto berries, on the other hand, strengthen erections, boost sexual appetite, treat urinary tract problems, improve prostate health, and increase sperm production. Together, epimedium and saw palmetto berries ensure steel-hard erections, a stronger body, and a sharper mind. The formula also includes Cissus quadrangularis, which helps lower inflammation and build muscle within the penis, ensuring long-term reliability and firmer erections. Its metabolic enhancing properties are so powerful, Cissus is being used to expedite the healing of broken bones and known in multiple ancient medical systems as the bone healer. Don't be surprised if you also lose a few pounds while on it. Tribulus terrestris is another potent caretaker of your heart that promotes the relaxation and dilation of your blood vessels. It provides a big testosterone boost while building a monumental erection and quantity of sperm. Each of these plants can help on its own, as I experienced with epimedium, but when combined in these precise quantities, they generate remarkable results that shock your flimsy dick back to life, making it hard as a steel hammer. Now, you might wonder why you haven't heard of this breakthrough for ED yet, just like I asked myself 2 years ago. Well, the studies conducted at the Center of Sexual Medicine are there, but powerful pharmaceutical lobbies suppress anything that threatens their business, said Dr. Andreas. Natural treatments that show exceptional effectiveness are simply not of interest to them, leading to the abrupt halt of all funding and research. Some of Andreas Papa's colleagues were even paid to stay silent. Usually after the initial study on 352 men, another study with a sample of 3,200 men should have followed. However, due to the astonishing results that jeopardized Big Pharma's profits, they were sent home and the study was terminated. Hearing this saddened me, but at the same time, I had a brand new lab, a knowledgeable doctor, and a kick-ass formula. I asked Dr. Papa to help me and offered him access to the lab. That moment, I decided to become an ED specialist and sexual coach to help men get their lives back and to know that it's not their fault. As a medical researcher in the field, I knew we could make a huge difference. That's when I promised myself that if this treatment worked for me, I would share it with the world, no matter the risks. It took 5 weeks to gather the plants, vitamins, roots, and minerals, and another 3 days to prepare the mixture. By focusing on rare ingredients from pristine and uncontaminated places like the Congo, Samoa, and the Andes Mountains, we ensured the nutrient profile was robust and the plants were sturdy. Any plant surviving such harsh climates grows remarkably resilient and hyperreceptive, and these qualities are passed on to its extracts. Due to this hyperreceptivity, when you consume these ingredients, your endothelial cells eagerly absorb them, just like a thirsty person finding water in the desert. They've never before feasted on such robust raw materials. We worked tirelessly, testing until dawn to ensure the most effective combination. In the end, Dr. Andreas suggested we create capsules to ensure an accurate dosage, which I found to be reasonable, so I immediately agreed. Finally, there it was. With trembling hands, I gripped the formula that was about to put an end to my ED problems and restore my life and dignity. If this tiny, natural pill was the most potent treatment to curing ED, that would be a dream come true. Of course, I couldn't wait to test it. After the first pill, I didn't feel a thing, but I was brimming with optimism. The second day, something changed. I started feeling less anxious and more relaxed. On the third day, when I came home from the lab and looked at my wife, I felt something strange. My eyes lingered on her breasts for just a moment. A slight bulge began to grow in the seam of my pants. Yet, instead of excitement, I felt fear. Fear that this was somehow just a fluke, like a placebo effect, and that if I tried to have sex, I'd probably just humiliate myself again. So I rushed to the bathroom and waited several minutes for my erection to subside. But in the middle of the night, I woke up to a strange, warm, wet sensation down below and realized Jennifer was bobbing and sucking on the hardest, firmest erection I had in years. I couldn't remember the last time she'd done anything like this, but my God, it was great. Like a favorite meal I had enjoyed for so long that I'd totally forgotten about, and my wife was totally turned on by her power to please me. I finished, and we held each other silently, like a giant weight had been lifted from our marriage, until maybe 30 minutes later, I was ready for round 2. We got zero sleep that night. But the next morning, I strolled out of bed, energized from head to toe. Naturally, I continued to take the formula every day and didn't have any side effects other than a broken headboard and ruined bedsheets. Seeing my progress, I told Dr. Andreas I wanted to test it on others as well. And we gathered a list of 37 friends, colleagues, and other people I knew who suffered from various levels of ED and asked them to discreetly put our special formula to the test. Every person accepted immediately. They each received a form so they could report weekly on their progress. I was prepared to wait a week or two until the initial reports came back, but what happened next was amazing. After 3 or 4 days, I was getting calls almost non-stop from everyone in the study, telling me how well it had worked for them, how they were experiencing the same results I had. They couldn't believe it. So I encouraged them to stick with taking their pills and continue tracking their progress. When I went to collect the reports, the results were outstanding. Not a single person reported ED problems anymore. Their erections lasted more than 30 minutes. All 37 men said they experienced an enhancement of their sexual satisfaction that they never had before. 35 men declared that their penises grew by an inch and that they had stronger orgasms. Judging by my own miraculous results, I decided, with the blessing of Dr. Andreas, to produce this supplement and make it available for everybody who is battling with erectile dysfunction, regardless of Big Pharma's interests. That's how EndoPeak was born. EndoPeak is the first formula designed to restore peak endothelial function and give you rock-hard erections on demand by fixing the root cause of all sexual performance issues, the endothelium flow disruptor. And it's the only formula in the world that not only restores your manhood, but also boosts stamina and sex drive, and even increases nerve sensitivity and smooth muscle function, making sex more pleasurable. Also, EndoPeak increases the size of your member by about 1.5 inches on average because of a significant boost in nitric oxide, which forces more blood to flow through your shaft, resulting in a bigger, longer penis. So now that you know my story, you're probably asking, how can I get this amazing supplement? The truth is that getting the right ingredients to make this powerful anti-ED pill is daunting. 97% of the natural ingredients on the market are either fake or filled with pesticides. Also, the people who have tested our product and regained the full usability of their penises keep asking us for more bottles for themselves or for their friends, or just to stock up in case we won't be able to provide any more, to make sure they'll have the power to fight ED for the rest of their lives. Plus, there's an impressive number of men who continue to take it because it plays a vital role in their overall health, longevity, and daily performance outside of the bedroom, emptying our stock in a matter of days. And I can't blame them when the alternative is painful stem cell shots that disable your penis for a few days and cost thousands of dollars every time. Moreover, EndoPeak is carefully produced only in small batches that take up to 6 months to deliver. This process is essential to ensure that the quality of the product is 100% effective. And don't forget about Big Pharma, who are already hunting us like mad for ruining their profits from innocent men who desperately crave a solution to their ED problems. These moguls offered us huge sums of money not to disclose anything about what we discovered because they know it works so well. Of course, we refused immediately, which made them even more angry. But since you've educated yourself with this video today, in the next few minutes, you'll find out how to get your hands on a brand new bottle. And before that, I want to explain to you how you should take EndoPeak. First, you should take 2 capsules of EndoPeak on a daily basis for at least 30 days. There's no doubt in my mind you're going to last longer in less than 3 weeks, but it's essential for you to maintain these results forever, to be completely sure that you've eliminated all the chronic inflammation and restored the strength of the entire endothelium. In which case, it could take at least 75 days to treat the lack of nitric oxide that has been present during this time. which means 3 bottles of EndoPeak. Or, and this is the most popular choice among the people who contact us, if you want the best chances of eliminating your incapacity to sustain an erection, or if you want to have a great libido every single day, or if you want your penis to get bigger, thicker, with enhanced sensitivity, and without premature ejaculation, a 6-month supply of EndoPeak is all you need. Nobody in the world can estimate exactly how damaged your endothelium is at this point, and how much of a boost you need, because this depends on many factors, such as your medical history, how long you've been having ED, your overall state of health and lifestyle choices, etc. So, as a rule of thumb, after seeing the positive results of more than 42,000 clients suffering from ED and premature ejaculation, we recommend taking 6 bottles or more to be completely safe for a period of 180 days. This should be enough to completely regenerate your penis. It'll be like having your 20-year-old penis again. Just imagine the complete restoration of your sexual function, improved self-confidence, greater intimacy in sexual relationships, no longer feeling worried about your performance. Picture yourself enjoying an invigorated sex life, oozing confidence both inside and outside the bedroom, and reconnecting with your partner on a deeper level. That is precisely what 42,000 men just like you have reported. People like Thomas Clark of Utah, who says,
"This made me feel like a beast. I totally recommend it."
I cried the day I started seeing results.
men are getting their lives back as we speak. Now you can understand why Dr. Andreas and I initially wanted to set the price of EndoPeak at $380 a bottle. All the ingredients are natural, most of them quite rare and hard to acquire. Plus, EndoPeak is the only all-natural solution that can permanently fix your ED problems on the market. The costs of seeing a specialist in your area, including the tests he'll make you pay for and the drugs he's going to prescribe to you, can be astonishing. A full cycle of testosterone treatment or other hormones costs thousands of dollars, and it might not even work or cause nasty side effects. And stem cell injections north of $10,000 are only for the rich, desperate elites. But to me, this is not about the money. It never really was. It's about the change it created in my confidence, mental health, and marriage. I want more men to experience that, and that's why I started on this journey. I remember that feeling not too long ago when I was in your shoes, wondering if the ED nightmare would ever end, which is why for only as long as this site is still up, you can get EndoPeak for the low price of just $69 a bottle. Yes, you heard that right, just $69, less than the cost of the average gym membership. You know what? I'm gonna make the deal even sweeter because I know how hard it is to live with the fear of being left out or no longer being the man you used to be. I've set up a discounted package system of 6 bottles of EndoPeak just for you, costing only $49 a bottle for a total of $294, which is being offered today only for as long as supplies last. Once we run out of bottles, the Buy Now buttons will not be active anymore until we make another batch again, which takes around 5 to 6 months at least. Click the 6-bottle package or any other package that you want below to secure your order. Consider this the smallest but most powerful investment that you've ever made in yourself. 6 bottles of EndoPeak will increase blood flow for longer staying power, boost nitric oxide for a bigger, thicker penis, and give you enhanced sensitivity without premature ejaculation. In other words, sex is going to feel better. You're going to last longer, and your penis will feel huge. Not to mention that the ultra-potent ingredients inside each capsule will also improve mood, enhance blood flow, shrink an enlarged prostate, boost testosterone, and improve cardiovascular health. So click the order button below after choosing the best package for you, and you'll end up on our secure checkout page. Enter your payment details, place the order, and in less than 5 days from now, you'll get EndoPeak delivered to your home. Click the button now. It's the only way to secure your package while supplies last. You have absolutely nothing to risk because you're also covered by our 180-day, 100% healthy or money-back guarantee. Start taking this groundbreaking formula. See for yourself how all your ED problems disappear, how your penis becomes stronger with each passing day, and how you're finally happy with your manhood again. Just like our more than 42,000 satisfied customers found out. And if you're unsatisfied for any reason, never happened, but just in case, send me an email and I will buy it back from you. No questions asked. We'll still be friends. You have nothing to risk at all. Like I said, this is a 100% risk-free investment. So click one of the buttons below to get started on your journey of becoming ED-free and restoring your sex life in less than 1 month. But please know that you really do have to act now. We're offering EndoPeak for just $69, and even cheaper if you're getting our more popular multi-bottle packages, just to put this amazing product into the hands of more people. In fact, you really only have 2 choices ahead of you right now. Option 1, stop following this presentation and leave this page. Do nothing. Keep going the way you are now, with the fear that every woman will reject you, even laugh at you, risking permanent frustration because nothing works, spending hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars on useless therapies, living without sex for the following years. It's not going to be pleasant. Or option 2, grab EndoPeak right now while risking nothing at all today, and you'll be surprised at how well it works. So just click below to make your choice, enter your payment details, and place the order now. We'll immediately ship your bottles directly to your home. I'm waiting to hear your success story soon. Sincerely, Ethan. Still here? Here are the most frequently asked questions we get from our customers and their answers. First question, does EndoPeak really work? EndoPeak gives nearly every man who takes it better erections in 7 days. Of course, for the more difficult cases of men who've been suffering for a long time and are on multiple prescription medications, it'll take longer. But nearly every man who gives it a go will experience an improvement in erections. This improvement alone is worth at least 50 times your investment today. Question number 2, how is EndoPeak manufactured? EndoPeak is made right here in the United States in an FDA-registered facility that follows all good manufacturing practice guidelines. We also have our formula tested by an independent third-party laboratory to make sure that the ingredients match what's on the label and that there are no toxic ingredients inside. Naturally, we're against fillers, preservatives, and artificial ingredients, making this an incredibly pure yet highly effective breakthrough in ED. Question number 3, how does the 180-day money-back guarantee work? From the moment you order, you'll have a full 6 months to try EndoPeak out. It'll work for almost any man, but if you're ever not satisfied or if it's not for you, feel free to contact our friendly customer service team and we'll happily refund your order in full within 48 hours. You'll be attended to by a real person who cares about your satisfaction and is eager to help. Question number 4, how long will EndoPeak be available to the public? That's hard to say. My goal is to get this breakthrough in the hands of as many Americans as possible, especially since EndoPeak has been such a revolution. And since ED manufacturers have tripled the prices of their products, my plan is to make it available to every American for just pennies a day. And while that's my goal, there are a lot of powerful people out there who hate what I'm doing. And I know they'd love nothing more than to shut me up by getting this website taken off the internet. So between the fact that I'm making a ton of enemies and that each bottle of EndoPeak can take up to 3 months to manufacture, I simply can't guarantee how long this site will remain online. Which is why if you're ready to experience the incredible benefits of EndoPeak, it's important that you take action now by ordering your supply. Question number 5, is my order secure and anonymous? The order process is encrypted with the same technology that online banks use to keep their details safe. Plus, nobody needs to know you've signed up for EndoPeak as it's completely anonymous and secure. Question number 6, what do I have to do next? All that remains is for you to click the order button below to make your choice, enter your payment details, and place the order now. We'll immediately ship your bottles directly to your home. I'm confident you'll be amazed by just how different you'll feel. It was a pleasure for me to share this amazing discovery with you today. Click below and get started with EndoPeak.